What up, y'all? So, as the Diddy trial proceeds, we have now found out some additional information about victim 3. So, if y'all don't know, Diddy's trial actually starts on Monday, and right now he has anywhere between 1 to 5 victims that may be testifying against him. But late last week, the feds reported that victim 3 is missing. Hey, make sure you subscribe to my page. I'm trying to grow over here. They don't know where she at. She ain't picking up the phone calls. They can't find her. Now, from the start of this case, we started to hear a lot of details about who these potential victims could be, and it wasn't coming from the feds. It was Diddy's lawyers. Diddy's lawyers were dropping little breadcrumbs here and there that was telling us who these victims were. So I remember like way back in December, Diddy was trying to get bail, and his lawyers was like, listen, this is not a RICO case. All these victims, they're all Diddy's ex-girlfriends. So I said, all of his ex-girlfriends. Well, that's gonna dwindle this list down because most of us know who Diddy's ex-girlfriends are. So once we learned ex-girlfriends were involved, I immediately thought about Gina Huynh. And the reason I thought about Gina is she did an interview way back in 2019 before Cassie ever filed her lawsuit. And she talked about how when she was dating Diddy, he was extremely violent towards her. He made her get abortions. She said something like he pushed her down the stairs. He stomped on her belly. She did this interview with Tasha K. And a lot of people didn't pay no attention to it. They thought she was just telling these weird stories. But some of us was kind of like, hey, I believe her. Sounds like Diddy to me. So when his lawyer came out and said, hey, these are all ex-girlfriends, most of us was like, okay, Cassie's one of these victims, and Gina most likely is one of these victims as well. Now, I don't know who the other victims are. I don't know. That's going to be interesting. Now, today, the judge came out because victim 3 is still missing. We don't know where she's at. And he ruled on some motions that Diddy's lawyers had put into place. And as he's ruling on these motions, he's non-purposely telling us more information about victim 3. And we've put 2 and 2 together and pretty much have confirmed, yeah, victim 3 is Gina. In one of his rulings, the judge said victim 3 was someone who had already done a public interview. So, which one of Diddy's ex-girlfriends has done a public interview? Gina. She sat down with Tasha K and talked about how Diddy was extremely violent to her. Now, what's even crazier about Gina potentially being victim 3 is about 3 weeks ago, there was a motion that said all of the victims in the case would be referred to as Jane Doe. They didn't have to use their real names. They could be completely anonymous. Cassie was like, yo, I don't want to be no Jane Doe. I want to use my name. So everybody was cool. Then, about a week or so ago, victim 3 was like, don't call me Jane Doe. I'm cool with moving forward and using my real name. So about 2 weeks ago, she was completely in on this case. And not only was she in, she was going to go by her real name because there was something in the paperwork that said, hey, she's already known to the public anyway, so it's no point in her being a Jane Doe. She was ready to testify under her name. But fast forward to today, she's missing. The feds can't get her on the phone. They can't get in contact with her. They don't know where she's at. But guess what? I don't think she's missing. This is just my speculation. I think Gina has taken a payday. I think she's disappeared on purpose. Her lawyer released a statement to TMZ and said, hey, victim 3 is going through some personal things right now. That's why it's kind of hard to get in contact with her. Listen, y'all, we saw this same play in R. Kelly's first trial. The first R. Kelly case, when he was accused of being with Sparkle's niece in a video, and the girl at the time was underage, a lot of people testified, watched that tape, and said, yes, that's Sparkle's niece. She's underage. Teachers, principals, friends. But you know who didn't testify? The victim and her family. You know why they didn't testify? Because just like Gina, they went missing. Nobody could find them when the trial started. Fast forward 20 years into the future, and R. Kelly is hit with his Fed case, and we find out in that case that those people didn't go missing like out of the blue. We found out that R. Kelly had paid for them to go stay in the Bahamas for the whole duration of the trial, and when he was found not guilty, they came back, and he even gave her family members jobs. Crazy. And this is what everybody was afraid of. This is why people did not want Diddy to have bail, because people felt like if you let this man get out, he's going to start influencing victims and witnesses. He's going to start paying people off. He may start threatening people. This is what we knew what was going to happen, because it was rumored he did this same thing during the Shine trial. There was rumors sprinkled all through New York City that Diddy was offering witnesses $10,000, $20,000 to not testify against him, or for them to change their story. So Gina is most likely sitting on a beach in Montego Bay, sipping on a pina colada for the next 2 to 3 months. And if I was the feds, I'd leave her be. I wouldn't try to find her. She has 100% been completely compromised. Don't try to make her testify because she will blow this case all the way up. We saw it. We've seen it already. We saw this in the Meg versus Tory case. When Kelsey got on the stand, she got up there, she got amnesia, she couldn't remember anything. But prior, she sat down with the police and told the police everything that happened. But when they put her on the stand and made her testify, she all of a sudden got amnesia. She was compromised. Some people think Tory Lanez paid her off. So yeah, man, do y'all think that victim 3 is now officially Gina? Leave your comments below and make sure y'all follow me for all y'all Diddy news. I'm going to be reporting on this case nonstop. Thanks for hanging out with me. Peace.